जीवन की हालात जिंदगी में हमें अनुभवी बनाता है। हामिद की दादी जो काफी वृद्ध है और जिसकी का निधन हो गया, फिर भी अपने जिंदगी
कोई आए नहीं, कितने हुआ ये 30 लोग तो जुड़ गए पार्टिसिपेंट। और यार क्या टाइमिंग हो रहा है, 2:56 हो रहा है।
हेलो।
हेलो प्रमोद।
हाउ आर यू सर?
नमस्ते नमस्ते। अभी मैंने देखा कि कामेश और राजकुमारी भी हैं साथ में। वेलकम बोथ ऑफ देम। गुड आफ्टरनून।
ओके, मैं यहाँ पर खोज ले रहा हूँ।
अभी है आगे, सामने आ गए। कामेश भी आ गए और
अच्छा,
राजकुमारी
हाँ।
भी। नमस्ते नमस्ते।
अच्छा अच्छा, आपकी आईडी से दिख रहे हैं एक्चुअली।
हाँ, मेरी आईडी से दिख रहे हैं, दोनों दिख रहे हैं, सामने ही हैं।
ओके ओके। और आपका सर वीडियो नहीं हम लोग देख पा रहे हैं।
हाँ, मैंने ऑफ किया हुआ है उसको, अभी ऑन कर देता हूँ। हाँ, मैंने ऑन कर दिया वीडियो।
ओके।
We have 3 more minutes to go. It's 2:57 by my this laptop. कैसे हैं आप प्रमोद जी, कैसे हैं? हाउ आर यू?
बस आशीर्वाद है सर आपका।
और
हम सब तो सूर्य के चारों तरफ घूमने वाले छोटे छोटे उपग्रह हैं, और हमारे लिए तो आप सूर्य की तरह हैं। आपको देखते हैं तो इंस्पिरेशन मिलता है, मोटिवेशन मिलता है। और इस एज में भी आप जिस त्वरित गति से कार्य कर रहे हैं और जैसे ज्वलंत मुद्दों को आप उठाते हैं, हम लोगों को बिल्कुल इस टाइप से सोचने के लिए आप इंसिस्ट कर देते हैं कि लगता है अरे हमने क्यों नहीं सोचा।
असल में
तो
प्रमोद जी क्या है कि मन मन अन्न से है, प्राण पानी से है, और जो शरीर है, जो देह है, वो सूर्य देव से है। हम तो सब अंश मात्र हैं, just like a particle in this universe. My status is just like a particle in this universe. तो जो हमारा जो विश्व है, जो हमारा ब्रह्मांड है, जो उसके रचयिता हैं, जो उनकी रचना है, वो हर रचना अपने में अनुपम है। हर रचना अनुपम है। किसी को भी देख लीजिए, कोई आपस में मिलता जुलता नहीं है, सब अनुपम है। और कई बार मैं ये सोचने लगता हूँ कि ऐसी इतने बड़े स्तर पर इतनी अनुपम रचनाएं रचयिता ने कैसे करी हैं, रचयिता ने कैसे करी हैं। वी बो टू दी, हम उनके समक्ष नमन करते हैं। हाँ
सर, आई एम एग्री विद यू। मैं बिल्कुल सहमत हूँ कि हम सभी एक परमपिता परमेश्वर की संतानें हैं। लेकिन महात्मा गांधी और विवेकानंद जी ने एक बात कही है कि व्यक्ति में अंतर्निहित जो ज्ञान है उसकी पूर्णता ही शिक्षा है। तो उस पूर्णता तक पहुंचने के लिए आप जैसे या हमारे रिसोर्स पर्सन जैसे लोगों की सानिध्य की अति आवश्यकता होती है। तो हम सभी उसका
प्रमोद
आनंद
जी,
ले
अभी
रहे हैं
हम
इस प्रोग्राम के माध्यम से।
औपचारिक रूप से इस प्रोग्राम को शुरू कर सकते हैं, सेशन को, क्योंकि 3 बज गए हैं।
बिल्कुल सर, बिल्कुल
हाँ।
सर। तो माय डियर फ्रेंड्स, myself Dr. Pramod Kumar Gupta, I am inviting Dr. D.R. Goyal sir for address or for introduce to Dr. Kamesh sir and Dr. Rajkumari ma'am.
Thank you, Pramod ji. Thank you very
Welcome,
much. Dr. Pramod Kumar Gupta, founder, organizer of ITEC, Indian Teacher Education Community. Dr. Harmeet Kaur, Principal, Guru Gobind Singh College of Education, Hoshiarpur. Dr. Kamesh Rao, Principal, Mastan Baba Mahila College of Education, Dungarpur. And Dr. Rajkumari Mishra, Assistant Professor in the same college. And both of them have worked for their doctoral work with the Professor Chaya Goel. Dr. Kamesh Rao has worked on converging on the learning resources in the diets of Rajasthan. And Rajkumari Mishra has worked on employing participatory approach for developing creative faculties of the learners. And regarding their education, Rajkumari is product of Devi Ahilya Vishwavidyalaya Indore, from where she has done her BA education, MA education, B.Ed, M.Ed, and she is particularly having the Hindi language background, and her MA is in Hindi subject. And when we look at Kamesh Rao, in him we find an administrator, a teacher, and both of them are highly humanistic personalities. And welcome all the webinarians, all the fellow faculty members, all the participants. Namaskar, Dr. Harmeet Kaur ji, namaste. And now we maybe invite Namaskar, ma'am.
Namaskar, sir. Good afternoon. How are you, sir?
We are fine. We all are fine with your prayers.
Thank you, sir.
Maybe invite the resource persons of the day, Dr. Kamesh Rao and Dr. Rajkumari Mishra, for taking off with their presentation. Both the source persons, please.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, everybody.
Welcome, sir.
Yes, Dr. Kamesh, the screen is visible.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Participatory approach. Participatory approach, also known as the Pereirian approach, is a teaching strategy that incorporates themes or content area that are of interest to the learners. The participatory approach is under the umbrella of content-based instruction, that is the short form is the CBI, in that it uses topics for a specific purpose. There are various activities that can be incorporated in this teaching strategy, which aim to develop all language domains in the learning process. According to Arbeck, learners are also encouraged to take ownership of their learning as well as collaborate with the teacher, including participating in small and whole group activities for learning to be meaningful. However, in the participatory approach, meaning precedes form. A classroom using a participatory approach uses two-way dialogue, problem posing and problem solving strategies while using language learning as a vehicle. This is the this approach mainly we are the using in the uh, language, that is the English or Hindi, so many language. The main we are the problem posing and the problem solving. In the two-way dialogues we will continue in this participatory mode. Problem posing and problem solving activities supports for critical thinking and creative ways to address learners pressing social issues. Participatory approach is more process based than product based in its outcome. In participatory approach, students are encouraged to work with fellow students either in pairs, small groups, or in whole groups for collective participation. Activities such as role plays, writing a letter to school board or city management staff, compose a poem, and other functional exponents using the target language and language domains make an important facet in the students' learning, because these are the tools that will help students liberate from their problems. A participatory approach not only develops words and themes meaningful to learners, but also extends those themes and activities into action that will better the learners' lives. Members of the literacy teams spend time in the communities developing lists of words and vocabulary that were key to the life there. From these lists, they choose generative words that become the basis for helping learners develop basic decoding and encoding skills. It also called participatory or liberatory education. Certain approaches revolve around the discussion of issues drawn from learners' real life experience. We must count in the teaching learning process when we use the real life experience of the student, that becomes the more effective learning teaching learning situation. It the term participatory is often used interchangeable with learner center. The participatory approach is also a learner centered approach in that the content and learning objectives and determined through ongoing dialogue between teacher and learners. The participatory approach goes beyond a learner centered approach because it advocates literacy as a vehicle for personal transformation and social change. Learner discuss issues in class that are significant to them and determine ways of dialogue, dealing with these issues in real life. Learners are seen as agents for change, for bettering their lives and the lives of those close to them. There is the more than teaching methods involved in the participatory approach. Some of I have quoted here. The teaching method, the terms teaching method refers to the general principles, pedagogy, and management strategies used for the classroom instruction. The choice of teaching method depends on what fits the teacher: educational philosophy, classroom demography, subject areas, and school mission statement. Teaching theories primarily fall into two categories or approaches: teacher centered and student centered. If we discuss the teacher centered approach, there is the direct instruction. Mainly, the teacher is the main boss of in the classroom. There is the formal authority of the teacher is the experts personal model. He has the present in the classroom situation. In the student centered approach, inquiry based learning facility is providing in the classroom situation. Classroom teacher is the facilitator, personal model, and delegator. And cooperative learning also coming under the student center approach, that is the facilitator and delegator. Teacher center approach to learning. Teachers are the main authority figure in this model. Students are viewed as empty vessels whose primary role is to passively receive information via lecture or direct instruction within the end goal of testing and assessment. It is the primary role of teacher to pass knowledge and information into their students. In this model, teaching and assessment are viewed as two separate entities. Students' learning is measured through objectively scored tests and assessment. This is other than is the student-centered approach to learning. While teachers are the authority figure in this model, teachers and students play an equal activity role in this learning process. The teacher primary role is to coach and facilitate student learning and overall comprehension of material. Student learning is measured through both formal and informal forms of assessment, including group projects, student portfolios, and class participation. Teaching and assessment are connected. Students' learning is continuously measured during teachers' instruction. Teaching methods are an important tool for the implementation of the educational process. Selection and use appropriate methods should reflect the needs of the students and respond to correct global trends in the technological and economic development. Choosing appropriate methods course is determined by various factors such as the number of students in the study group, spatial and technical capabilities, motivating students to learn, professional level and experience of teachers, as well as the quality and availability of teaching resource and supporting textbook. These are the needs to cope up the student center learning. Technology becomes a more integral part of education. More teachers want to use different forms of modern tools to help teach students. There are innovative and new teaching methodologies which incorporate the use of modern technology to encourage students to participate and take an active role in learning. To achieve higher efficiency of education, it is necessary to use a combination of several methods. In the participatory approach, we are using the several methods in the one time. That is the participatory methods we can say that. They should also include the participatory methods. Participative methods assume a high degree of students' activity. Their advantage is that they support better remember, learn. They represent the current modern method, which is typical for active practice, experience, and direction to the learning by doing. When we using the learning by doing, students are capable to do everything which they are want in their personal life. They are thus based on the fact that people will learn more if you try to do something than if they just read or listen to the a new information such as a lecture method. Lecture prepare a content of learning, but participatory method prepare a procedure aspects. Students can be activated using a combination of various participative methods such as group work, brainstorming, case study, role playing, management games, and so on. An important part of this method of teaching is to provide feedback and evaluation of activities. Participatory teaching approach is is a form of reflective teaching approach, which is sometimes termed as interactive teaching method or learner centered teaching method. This method stresses the subjectivity of learners and the self construction of knowledge. It is a shift from a belief that learners are empty plate who are supposed to be imparted with knowledge to a belief that learners can construct knowledge and learn on their own if properly guided. Participatory methods expect a high degree of activity and personal involvement of participants in the learning process. They are designed only for small groups of participants, but their advantage is that they encourage better retention of learn. They can contemporary modern methods of education. Some of the methods we included in the participatory approaches. The more student-centered method we can be used in the participatory approaches. The some of I have the quoted here. The some brief description is there. The brainstorming, one of the child-centered method. This is the frequently used method to solve problem. It is necessary to respect the principle of non-criticism, fantasy release, mutual inspiration, and equality of participants. There is the advantage of this brainstorming method. This is the speed. We can creative things can be developed for this brainstorming method in the student. The involvement of a large number of students, the and disadvantage also in the brainstorming method. This is necessity of clearly explain the method before using. When we are using the brainstorming, then we also say to the objectives of the brainstorming. So this is the explaining of the method before we using. This is the unnecessity to use. This is the disadvantage of the brainstorming. The need for compliance with the rules of the method. This is also we need to compliance with the rules of this method, so the student and as well as the teacher can follow that rules. This is the one of the disadvantage of the brainstorming. A workshop. Workshop is the popular method addressed to the discuss specific situation and find possible approaches to their positive management. And advantage is okay, this is informality, use in the more numerous group, and disadvantage is requirements for teacher facilitation skills needed. The teacher should be facilitated with the skills. Aquarium, one group of students solve the problem, the second group observe and then provides the feedback. This is the one of the good thing in the aquarium methods. And practicing, the advantage is the practicing of given feedback. Solid training is the possible in this aquarium method. Disadvantage is stage fright and nervousness participants who solve the role and who are observed. This is the one of the disadvantage. So students who can solve the problem and role, they are uh, state fright and nervousness is the obviously going. And second thing is the demanding facilitation by teacher. Next one is the role play. This is the one of the good method in the participatory mode. The group gets the script with roles. Students play selected situation and examine the various possible approaches to solving problems or unforeseen events. The role play is the one of the type of fun. Students are enjoying these methods to play the various roles and practicing well as unpleasant situation. But there is a disadvantage. Games can be considered unrealistic and stage fright and fear of the missed actor's performance. This is the disadvantage. So next one is the solution to the incidents. This method is similar to the case study. Enter the basic facts of the incident and the groups decides what further information needs and what needs to answer question. This is exploration real problems without the risk. This is the main advantage of this method. Good simulation of reality, but there is a disadvantage is the possible sense the artificial situation by the participants. Libram, this is one of the good method used in your situation. At some point, students have to solve several tasks simultaneously and options identified consequence of one of the selected option. Proceed in this way until the successful solved task. Advantage is it can keep its own pace of work, a high degree of student participation. In this method, this is the time consuming method, difficult to preparation for teachers. So most of the teachers not using Librance method. The more efficient application of any method is supported by audiovisual devices such as flip chart, projector, overhead projector, whiteboard, various educational or assuming films, models, or support materials. We can use in the for the any method we can use, then we will use the audiovisual devices. It is the compulsory. But in the modern ways, we are the using more another educational thing, that is the we are using the computers for the presentation of educated teams in by the PowerPoint program. The risk is that the interactive and disappearing appearing and teachers and students often focus more on visual aspects of the presentation when creating presentation. The content is underestimated. We should not forget the appropriate arrangement of the room where the educational activities are practiced. When we are the use the PowerPoint in the and online teaching, we are not arranging the classroom uh, proper arrangement of the room classroom. The arrangement is the necessary to adapt to the main theme of activity, methods used, group size, room size, timing, etc. This is the compulsory when we are going to teach any class in the weird situation. So this is the compulsory to the group size, what group size we want to teach, and the what room size and the timing also. Also, new technology offer new possibilities and opportunities in education. When using them, it is necessary to pay attention to that they can meet the expectations of students and make learning efficient enough. The condition and approaches to learning, as well as specific conditions for learning supports, are generally applicable, and it is necessary to pay attention to them. Even using the most modern technologies, the creation of more effective combination of this method and ability to design new innovative methods of education will be important for the future part of teaching. The participatory approach involves sharing of knowledge and experience, When we are taking the help of the participatory approach, we are then inviting the share knowledge from the students and their experience in the field, as well as the textbook, recognize and encompassing different perspectives, working in teams on practical tasks, the use of visualizing and analytical tools, imagination and drama, an often-ended creative learning process, the development of shared understanding and jointly plants or other products, the capacity for reflection and self-assessment. These are the uh, these things are the involved in the participatory approach. When we are the using in the classroom teaching through participatory approach, we are using these things in the uh, teaching learning process. The role of teacher and students. Teacher in the participatory approach, teacher as a facilitator and guide. Here he is the only guided to the student what can be or what should be. And facilitator also. The students are collaborating with their teacher in finding solution to an issue that affects the community, because after all he after the school he going to the share their experience in the community. Over the courses of the lesson, teachers in participatory approach eventually turn over some piece facet of control to the students. Some activities we can done in the participatory approach while we are the teaching through participatory mode in the classroom situation. That is the group discussion, one of the activity. Problem posing. There is a two thing in the side by side going on a participatory approach. First one the problem posing, and second thing is the problem solving. Pairs work, group work, two-way dialogue, discussion. Here is the some of the examples for this group discussion, problem posing, fair work, group work, two-way dialogue, and discussion. Uh, we can take the examples from the economics teaching in the B.Ed curriculum. Then we use the group discussion for the liberalization, udarikaran, globalization, वैश्वीकरण. We provide to the platform to the students to discuss the liberalization. We can invite to the students to what is the benefit of the liberalization, hiking of the price, and and the decreasing of the price. If what is the effects of the educational side, what is the advantage of the liberalization, what is the effects on the wages of the common man. This is the liberalization part, उदारीकरण के में क्या हो सकता है. So liberalization, the so many ideas, so many thoughts will become. We simply note that down on the blackboard and the whiteboard, and all the things summarized in the one of the paragraph. Then we share these ideas rest of the students. Some of the students may be shy, they are not participant, but we are the motivating that also, that students also to say some things about the uh, udarikaran, liberalization. The same thing is the veshwikaran. We also teach veshwikaran with the group discussion, the privatization also, and the same is here, the what is the effect of the privatization on the prices, education, advantage, what is the advantage of the privatization, and as well as the globalization, and what is the effects on the wages. Today's we are the facing the so many problems in the unlock times and the corona times. So main thing is the wages problem. So when we are the using the discussion, group discussion, we will come together with the many ideas of the student, and also problem posing. This is the first we are going to give the problems to the student. That is the one of the topic maybe we use in the demand and supply, inflation, and wages. This is the problem facing. The students will be there sharing their ideas on the demand and supplies and inflation, मुद्रास्फीति, wages क्या हो सकता है, and other thing is the pairs work. We will make the two students in the come together and they work of the some topics, and they share their ideas to other students, and then we can come through the conclusion. First, how to fix the price. This is the one of the main questions arise in the every time, how we are the fixing the price of the some commodities. So we are arrange the whole class in the 2 by 2 students, to then they are solving this problem by the pair work, to how can we fix the price of any commodities. And the likewise the group work. Group work, collection of commodities price in various market. We are the saying that some of the prices of the same commodities is the different from the various market. If we are going to the purchase in the wholesale market, there is some other price of the same commodity, and when we are the purchasing the same commodity in nearby the our home, that is the we are the different of the prices. So then we are the giving to the students in the small group to collect the sample from the various markets, so we can know the what is the difference between the various prices of the various market. Other is the two-way dialogue and discussion. This is two-way dialogue, dialogue and discussion. As we are using this particularly two-way dialogue and discussion in the language teaching. So then is the new words, new phrases, and all the things we are then using this two-way dialogue and discussion. Same, this is the participatory approach we are using in the classroom situation. In the modern time, this is the necessary to encourage the student and motivate the student to say something. What is their real life experience and what is their views on the particular topics which we are the going to teach in the situation. Next, I would like to invite Dr. Rajkumari Misra to continue the further discussion. अच्छा, ये
नमस्कार। वास्तव में जो सहभागी उपागम या पार्टिसिपेटरी अप्रोच है, यह मुख्यतः सीखने की वह प्रक्रिया है जिसमें सहभागियों के बीच में मनन, चिंतन तथा अनुभवों की परस्पर गहन समझदारी होती है। एक दूसरे के अनुभव को समझकर अपने ज्ञान को बढ़ाते हैं, अपने विचारों के आदान प्रदान के द्वारा अपने ज्ञान में अभिवृद्धि करते हैं। मुख्य तौर पर सहयोगी अधिगम जो होता है एक शैक्षणिक प्रक्रिया होती है जिसका उद्देश्य कक्षा गतिविधियों को सैद्धांतिक और सामाजिक अधिगम अनुभव कराना है। बच्चों को समूह में करने के अलावा भी सहयोगी अधिगम में अनेक गुण हैं। इसमें मुख्य तौर पर सकारात्मक परस्पर निर्भरता होता है। बच्चों को एक समूह में दिए हुए काम को एक सामूहिक रूप से अपने सैद्धांतिक उद्देश्य को प्राप्त करना जरूरी है। जहां व्यक्तिगत अधिगम प्रतियोगिता संबंधी गुण को आगे बढ़ाता है और जो छात्र सहयोगी अधिगम करते हैं वे अपने और दूसरों की योग्यता में वृद्धि करते हैं। इस प्रक्रिया में गुरुजन की भूमिका बदलकर सिर्फ जानकारी देना ही नहीं रह जाती, यह उन्हें सीखने में भी मदद करते हैं। रॉस और स्माइथ बयान करते हैं कि कामयाब सहयोगी अधिगम यानी पार्टिसिपेटरी जो अप्रोच है, ये हमें बौद्धिक रूप से सुचारू, सृजनशील और उच्च सोच को शामिल करता है। कक्षा में कामयाब सहयोगी अधिगम के लिए कुछ तत्वों का समावेश करना बहुत ही आवश्यक है और ये पार्टिसिपेटरी अप्रोच में रहता है। इसमें पहली बात तो होती है सकारात्मक परस्पर निर्भरता। आपस में मिलजुल कर कार्य करते हैं जिससे उनमें सकारात्मक निर्भरता का भाव उत्पन्न होता है। छोटे बड़े की भावना नहीं रह जाती या मैं अधिक होशियार तू कमजोर, इस तरह की भावना न होकर सहयोगात्मक रूप से ये एक दूसरे साथ मिलकर कार्य करते हैं और उस कार्य को उत्तम बनाने का प्रयास करते हैं। दूसरा, इसमें व्यक्तित्व और समूह उत्तरदायित्व। व्यक्तिगत रूप से तो अपना अच्छा से अच्छा बालक करता ही है, लेकिन जब समूह में रहता है तो एक समूह की जिम्मेदारी हो जाती है कि उनको जो समूह कार्य दिया गया है उसको वो बेहतर तरीके से कर सकें। इसके अलावा पारस्परिक जो प्रोत्साहन की भावना होती है, ये भी इसमें एक महत्वपूर्ण स्थान रखती है। प्रोत्साहन के द्वारा अच्छा प्रोत्साहन यदि मिलता है, मोटिवेशन मिलता है, तो बच्चे का जो आत्मविश्वास बढ़ जाता है और उससे वो अच्छा कार्य करने लगता है। उसमें भी ये लगता है हम कर सकते हैं। बहुत बार ऐसा होता है कि हमें लगता है हम कुछ नहीं जानते, लेकिन जब समूह में काम करते हैं तो पता चलता है कि नहीं, हमें भी कुछ आता है। या नहीं आता है तो दूसरे क्या बोल रहे हैं, किस तरह से विचारों को प्रस्तुत कर रहे हैं, उस संबंध में भी हम सोचने लग जाते हैं। इसके साथ ही परस्पर जरूरत की भावना पूरी होती है। एक दूसरे के समूह के साथ दूसरों का हुनर सीखते हैं और अपने ज्ञान में अभिवृद्धि करते हैं। हम हिंदी के क्षेत्र में यदि बात करें तो बहुत सारी ऐसी प्रक्रियाएं हैं, बहुत सारे ऐसे मेथड है जिसके माध्यम से हम पार्टिसिपेटरी अप्रोच का प्रयोग करके शिक्षण को हम प्रभावशाली बना सकते हैं। जैसे कि मुहावरों का प्रयोग है, इसके अलावा वाक्यों को बनाना है, प्रत्यय, उपसर्ग हैं, पर्यायवाची शब्दों का ज्ञान कराना है, ये सारी चीजें हो सकती हैं। फिर रचना करना, निबंध रचना करना, ये भी हो सकता है। पैराग्राफ लिखवाना, ये भी हो सकता है। तो मैंने एक मुहावरे को कैसे करेंगे इसको मैंने लिया है कि जिस तरह से पहले मैंने बताया था पिछली बार जब हुआ था कि मैंने पोयम कंपोजिशन बताया था, ये पार्टिसिपेटरी अप्रोच के माध्यम से। उसी तरह यहाँ मुहावरे का मैंने प्रयोग करके देखा कि यदि हम बच्चों को विभिन्न प्रकार के मुहावरों का ज्ञान करा दें और उससे उनके नए विचारों को सामने लाना चाहें तो हम ये प्रयोग कर सकते हैं। तो मैंने ये किया था कि शरीर के जो विभिन्न अंग हैं उनसे संबंधित मुहावरों को क्लास में रखा था। उसके लिए छोटे छोटे समूह बनाए, 6-7 लोगों का एक एक ग्रुप बना दिया और 5-7 समूह बन गए और सभी को अलग अलग दे दिया कि कोई हाथ से संबंधित बनाएगा, कोई मुख से संबंधित, कोई बाल से संबंधित, शरीर के विभिन्न अंगों से संबंधित उन्हें 5 मुहावरे लिखना है और उन मुहावरों का उन्हें वाक्यों में प्रयोग करना और प्रयोग ऐसे होने चाहिए जिससे कि उनका अर्थ अच्छी तरह स्पष्ट हो जाए। उसके बाद ये समूह में जब ये काम हो जाए उसके बाद एक ग्रुप को क्लास सिचुएशन में आमंत्रित किया और वो उसको प्रस्तुत किए। और जब क्लास में विभिन्न प्रकार के मुहावरों को रखा गया और जैसे हाथ से संबंधित है, हाथ आना, हाथ उठाना, हाथ कट जाना, खाली हाथ होना, हाथ धोकर पीछे पड़ जाना, हाथ मांजना, हाथ डालना, रंगे हाथ पकड़ना, हाथ पर हाथ रख के बैठना, हाथ साफ करना, हाथ तंग होना, आड़े हाथ लेना, खूनी हाथ, इस हाथ ले उस हाथ दे, एक हाथ से ताली नहीं बजती, दोनों हाथ लड्डू, दाता का हाथ लगना, खुले हाथ, हाथ पांव फूलना, हाथ पांव पीले कर देना, हाथ पांव मारना, हाथ के तोते उड़ जाना, हाथ भर का कलेजा होना, हाथ भर की जुबान होना, हाथ लगना, हाथों हाथ लेना, ये हाथ से संबंधित हो गए मुहावरे। इसके बाद मैंने शरीर के दूसरे अंगों को, जैसे ये मुहावरे जो विभिन्न शरीर के अंगों से लेकर लिए गए, इनका मुख्य तौर पर यही वो था कि सभी बालक विभिन्न प्रकार के प्रयोगों को जान जाएं कि सामाजिक तौर पर, व्यक्तिगत तौर पर जब हम बातचीत करते हैं तो किस तरह से उपयोग होता है और हम कैसे इनका उपयोग अच्छी तरह कर सकते हैं और अपनी भाषा को, अपनी अभिव्यक्ति को प्रभावी बना सकते हैं। अब छाती संबंधी, जैसे छाती पर मूंग डालना, छाती पर पत्थर रखना, छाती पर बाल होना, छाती पर सांप लौटना, छाती ठंडी करना, गज भर की छाती होना, छाती छलनी हो जाना, छाती निकाल कर चलना, छाती फटना, छाती जलना, छाती धड़कना, छाती छुड़ाना, छाती पीटना, छाती से लगाना। इसी तरह और दूसरे भी मुहावरे, आंखों से संबंधित, कान से संबंधित मुहावरों को लिया। और जब बच्चों ने इसको क्लास सिचुएशन में प्रस्तुत किया तो दूसरे बच्चों ने और भी बढ़कर, आगे बढ़ चढ़कर उन्होंने लिया कि इस तरह से और दूसरे वाक्य भी बनाए जा सकते हैं, ये हो सकते हैं या नहीं। इस तरह धीरे धीरे क्लास काफी अच्छी और अधिगम से परिपूर्ण होती गई। और इस तरह मैंने देखा कि यदि हम पार्टिसिपेटरी अप्रोच के द्वारा बच्चों को शिक्षण कराते हैं, यानी समूह में शिक्षण कराते हैं, तो ज्यादा प्रभावी होता है। इसी तरह अतिथि से संबंधित मुहावरे लिए, अंगूठे संबंधित, अंगूठे पर मारना, अंगूठे दिखाना, अंगूठा चूमना, अंगूठा बोलना, उंगली से संबंधित, उंगली दिखाना, उंगली उठाना, उंगली पर नाचना, उंगली पर नचाना, पांचों उंगली में घी होना, उंगली पकड़कर पहुंचा पकड़ना, टेढ़ी उंगली से घी न निकलना। ठीक उसी तरह पैर से संबंधित, अंगार पर पैर रखना, अपने पैरों पर खड़े होना, कांटों पर पांव रखना, गिन गिन कर पैर रखना, दलदल में पांव फंसना, पैर उखाड़ना, पैर पकड़ना, पैर धोना, पांव बचाना, पैरों तले जमीन खिसकना, पांव पर कुल्हाड़ी मारना। हाँ। फिर कान से संबंधित उदाहरण लिए, कान उठाना, कान कतरना, कान उमेटना, कान खा जाना, कान पकड़ना, कान भरना, कानों में तेल डालकर बैठना, कान लगाना, कान हिलाना, कानों पर हाथ धरना, कान खड़े होना, इस कान से सुनना, उस कान से उड़ा देना, कान पर जूना रेंगना, कानों कान खबर न होना, कान कटना, कान खोलना, कान गरम करना, कान में डालना, कान में पकड़ना, कान ऐंठना, कान का कच्चा होना, कान पकना, कान देना, कान पकड़ना। नाक से संबंधित उदाहरण लिए, जैसे नाक रख लेना, नाक रगड़ना, नाक पर मक्खी न बैठने देना, नाक कटना, नाक में नकेल डालना, नाक भौं चढ़ाना, नाक काटना, नाक का बाल होना, नाक चोटी काट कर हाथ में देना, नाक में दम करना, नाक पर गुस्सा होना, नाक होना, नाक में दम आना, नाक कटाना। इसी कर्मों से संबंधित उदाहरण लिए, मुंह भरना, मुंह में तिनका ले आना, मुंह में पानी भर आना, अपना समूह लेकर रह जाना, मुंह काला होना, अपने मुंह मियाँ मिट्ठू बनना, मुंह की खाना, मुंह फाड़ना, छोटा मुंह बड़ी बात करना, मुंह ताकना, मुंह तोड़ जवाब देना, मुंह धोना, मुंह में काली पोतना, मुंह दिखाना, मुंह छिपाना, मुंह तरना, मुंह पकड़ना, मुंह बिगाड़ना, मुंह बंद करना, मुंह लटकाना, मुंह पर हवाइयाँ उड़ना, मुंह तोड़ना, मुंह फुलाना, मुंह फूलना, मुंह देखी करना, मुख से लाड टपकना, मुंह खोलना, जितने मुंह उतनी बात, मुख पर बसंत खिलना, टका सा मुख लेकर रह जाना, छोटा मुंह बड़ी बात। और इस तरह गर्दन से संबंधित, गर्दन उठाना, गर्दन झुकाना, गर्दन पर सवार रहना, गर्दन उड़ाना, गर्दन पर छुरी फेरना, गर्दन काटना, इस तरह के बहुत सारे मुहावरे बच्चे लेकर आए। और बाल से संबंधित, बाल बांका न होना, बाल पकाना, बाल बराबर न समझना, बाल बाल बचना, बाल की खाल निकालना, बाल धूप में सफेद न होना, सिर से संबंधित, सिर आंखों पर, सिर उठाना, सिर उठना, सिर खाना, सिर चढ़ना, सिर धुलना, सिर ऊपर होना, सिर पर उठा लेना, सिर पर खून सवार होना, सिर फिरना, सिर मुड़ाते ही ओले पड़ना, सिर पर अंगार धरना, ओखली में सिर देना, सिर गंजा करना, सिर पर कफन बांधना, सिर पांव रखकर भागना, सिर पर भूत सवार होना, सिर पर सवार रहना, सिर नीचा होना। माथा संबंधित भी आए, माथा कूटना, माथा टनकना, माथे चढ़ाना, माथा पच्ची करना, माथा पीटना, माथे लगाना, सिर माथे लेना। आंख से संबंधित भी आए, आंख उठाकर न देखना, आंख खुलना, आंख दिखाना, आंखें नीली पीली करना, आंख फेरना, आंख में खटकना, आंखों में चर्बी छाना, आंखों में चुभना, आंखों में धूल झोंकना, आंख लगना, आंख सेकना, आंख में खून उतरना, आंख फाड़ कर देखना, आंखों का पानी गिर जाना, आंखें चार होना, आंख बिछाना, आंख में रात काटना, आंख तरसना, आंखों में सरसों फूलना, आंख का काजल चुराना, आंख गड़ाना, आंखें ठंडी करना, आंखें ततेरना, आंखें नीची होना, आंखें पथरा जाना, आंखें मूंदना, आंखों में गड़ जाना।
ये सभी ऐसे मुहावरे हैं जो एक ही वर्ड्स क्लासरूम सिचुएशन में दिया गया, और जब बच्चों को इनवाइट किया गया तो बहुत सारे आइडियाज आए हैं कि केवल एक वर्ड आंख, पार्टिसिपेटरी अप्रोच के माध्यम से जब स्टूडेंट्स को इनवाइट किया गया है कि आंखों पर बोलिए, तो उन्होंने आंखों पे बहुत सारे बोल सकते हैं। तो इतने सारे आइडियाज उनके पास में है, हर एक स्टूडेंट से अलग अलग आइडियाज की दिए और उसको हमने नोट डाउन कर लिया कक्षा कक्ष सिचुएशन में ब्लैक बोर्ड पर। तो देखें कि बहुत सारे ऐसे आइडियाज उनके पास से आए हैं जो आंख पे के अलग अलग अर्थ को बताना शुरू कर दिया। जैसे आंख उठाकर ना देखना किसी पे, ये एक मुहावरा है। आंख खुलना कि किसी बात से जो आंख खुल गया, आंख दिखाना, गुस्से से आंखें दिखाए। तो ये सारी चीज़ों को हम वाक्यों में प्रयोग करके हम मुहावरे के रूप में दे सकते हैं। तो ये तो केवल एक शरीर के अंगों के हिसाब से हैं जिसमें कि हमने स्टूडेंट्स को इनवाइट किया। ऐसे ही दूसरे चीज़ों में भी किया जा सकता है, दूसरे सब्जेक्ट्स में भी किया जा सकता है, और हम इसी तरह एक वाक्य को दे सकते हैं क्लासरूम सिचुएशन में, और उनके आइडियाज़ को हम ले सकते हैं, और उस तरह से जो है आइडियाज़ का आने के बाद में जो है उनको मेन पॉइंट्स को हम ब्लैक बोर्ड्स पे लिख सकते हैं, या स्टूडेंट्स को बोल सकते हैं कि आप इसको मेन पॉइंट्स को लिख लें। फिर उसके बाद में जो है उन पे ग्रुप डिस्कशन हो सकता है, उस पे जो है हम केस स्टडीज हो सकता है। तो उस तरह से जो है पार्टिसिपेटिव अप्रोच के माध्यम से जो है पढ़ाया जा सकता है। ठीक है, ओके देन, थैंक यू।
Well, Kamesh, you have completed the presentation?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and now could it be open for discussion?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now the queries, questions, observations in any form are invited. And I will request Pramod to provide that platform. Dr. Pramod, you are online. Okay, the participants may raise their yes, participants chat.
96
Question answer. No open questions. Yes, anyone having any question? You may unmute your mic and please raise the question. Or you may type it in the chat box. At 7. Yes. Yes, please write your question, make your observation in the chat box, please.
No question. No open questions.
Okay, then Dr. Kamesh, I have a question for both of you.
Yes, sir.
You have focused on participatory approach, and
Yes,
also for the today's session, you have focused on muhavre.
Yeah.
What are the salient outcomes of the participatory approach? ये participatory approach को सहभागी उपागम बोलते हैं. क्या बोलते हैं हिंदी में पार्टिसिपेटरी अप्रोच को? कामेश, आप बोलिए कामेश और राजकुमारी, पार्टिसिपेटरी अप्रोच को हिंदी में क्या कहते हैं? यस,
सहगामी,
yes, what is participatory approach?
yes.
Yes, Kamesh, are you in a position to listen to me? आप मेरी आवाज सुन पा रहे हैं कामेश?
Yes sir, I am listening to you sir. ये
हाँ।
हिंदी में सहभाग,
सहभागी उपागम,
सहगामी, सहभागी,
हाँ सहभागी उपागम, सहभागी उपागम. What are the advantages of participatory approach? पार्टिसिपेटरी अप्रोच को हम क्यों लगाएं? एनीवन, कामेश और राजकुमारी, हम पार्टिसिपेटरी अप्रोच को किस लिए लगाएं, क्यों लगाएं?
इससे सर कक्षा रुचिपूर्ण हो जाती है, बच्चे इंटरेस्ट लेते हैं और एक दूसरे के साथ मिलकर जो सीख सकते हैं वो अकेले नहीं सीख सकते. और कई बार क्या होता है कि बच्चे शिक्षक से उतना नहीं सीखते जितना अपने जो साथ के बच्चे हैं, अपने जो पीयर ग्रुप है उससे अच्छी तरह सीख लेते हैं.
Okay, can I arrive at an understanding that team mind is better than individual mind?
Yes,
team approach is better than individual approach. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. अब आपने
Yes, sir.
आपने जो मुहावरे हैं, कोई हाथ का दिया, कोई आंख का दिया, कोई किसी का दिया, और इन सब मुंह का भी दिया, पर इन सब को आप मुहावरे बोलते हैं.
जी सर.
तो मुहावरे को मुहावरा क्यों बोलते हैं?
मुहावरे एक से अधिक है तो मुहावरे
नहीं,
मुहावरा
मुहावरे जो,
क्यों कहते?
हाँ, जो बड़ी बात.
बोलिए. बोलिए आपका हंच क्या है? मुहावरे को मुहावरा क्यों बोलते हैं?
कहते हैं तो उनको मुहावरे, किसी बात को यदि छोटा करके कहना हो तो उसके लिए
एक से अनेक हुआ तो मुहावरे, मोर देन वन वी विल से द मुहावरे. अगर इंडिविजुअल एक है तो मुहावरा हो गया है. और जब बहुत सारे बड़े सेंटेंस होता है, छोटे करके जब बोलते हैं तो उसको मुहावरे बोलते हैं. जैसे
मैंने अपनी कक्षा में बच्चों से पूछा, नाच न जाने आंगन टेढ़ा.
yes.
राजकुमारी, आप मेरी बात सुनो, आप कुछ देख रहे हैं, मेरी बात सुनो. हाँ,
जी सर.
there is a question on the floor from Dr. Vinayak Bhatt. Sir, this approach is more processing rather than productive. Please clarify this. This is more of a process approach than product approach. ये एक सवाल किया है डॉक्टर विनायक साहब ने, डॉक्टर विनायक भट्ट ने. Okay. This process is more of processing rather than productive.
Yes, sir.
Please clarify. Please clarify.
Yes, sir. This is the.
Who will respond? Kamesh first or Rajkumari first?
Yes, sir. I will first.
Okay.
Because
fine.
Sir, this is the sir, participatory approach, sir. This is process, not a productive, sir. Actually, we are when we are the teaching in any subject, mostly the languages, then we are the processing in the classroom through the participatory approach, so that outcome nothing, but the process is the good in this
Now the emerging question
approach.
is there any outcome? Is there any
क्योंकि
product
बच्चे एक्टिव हो
of this
जाते हैं,
approach?
साथ में जो है
The question on the floor is, though no doubt it is participatory approach, there is more of focus on the process, wherein there is sharing amongst all the learners, most of the learners, group learners in the groups. But is it limited only to the process, or there is some outcome also? There is some outcome also, there is some output also. उसका कोई फल भी निकलता है कि वो प्रोसेस में ही खो जाता है?
फल तो निकलता है, यही तो फल निकला कि सर एक दूसरे के साथ सहभागिता पूर्ण उन्होंने कार्य किया, सामाजिकता बढ़ी, नए विचार आए, प्रोत्साहन मिला, यही तो जो भी टॉपिक था उसको अच्छी तरह से उन्होंने ग्रहण कर लिया।
Okay, well, Dr. Vinayak, could you get it that then Dr. Vinayak, here the response, of course, it is in Hindi. The response is, though it is participatory approach, though there is interaction amongst the participants, though it is team approach, but there is definitely better output. There is definitely the quality outcome, which is very often better than the individual outcome. So here the outcome through the group interaction, through the participatory approach is very often better than that by the individual approach. Okay. And then there is a question by from Roja Virappan. She's assistant professor and head department of history. Sita Lakshmi, what is your query, Dr. V. Roja?
Sir, there is another question.
What is that?
Sir, can you explain that how participatory approach is useful to teach other subjects of language and other subjects, aspect of language and other subjects? I repeat, how participatory approach is useful to teach other aspects of language and other subjects.
Okay, other aspects of language, I think the question is pretty clear to both the presenters, both the source and resource persons. Yes, that how participatory approach has its utility in the various domains of language. That is, when we look at the Carroll's tables, listening, speaking, reading, writing, and on the other side, the lexicon, the grammar, and the phonetics, and the cross-section, all the cells. How the participatory approach can be employed for enhancing the language skills and language levels and their interaction in their interactions. समझ में आया?
स्पीकिंग के लिए
पार्टिसिपेटरी अप्रोच को लिसनिंग, स्पीकिंग, रीडिंग, राइटिंग और दूसरी तरफ ग्रामर, वोकैबुलरी और फोनेटिक्स, इन सबके रिश्ते में, इन सबके रिश्ते को अगर आपको एक व्याकरण लेना है, एक ग्रामर लेना है, द लैंग्वेज, द discipline of analysis and synthesis of any language, what is your stand with respect to the participatory approach? That is the question on the floor.
सभी उसमें हो सकते हैं, सभी एस्पेक्ट में। जैसे किसी का केंद्रीय भाव, एक कविता पढ़ाया, उसका केंद्रीय भाव बताया और एक समूह में दे दिया कि चलिए आपने जो कुछ समझा है आप लोगों ने मिलजुल कर इसको तैयार कीजिए, वहां पर भी पार्टिसिपेटरी अप्रोच लागू होता है। सब मिलकर उन्हें जिसने भी जो ग्रहण किया उसके आधार पर वो बताएंगे। रीडिंग राइटिंग हर एक में हो सकता है। ये तो पढ़ना सीखना है तो पढ़ना, एक अकेले जो कोई धीमी पढ़ता है, कोई बहुत अच्छा पढ़ता है, एक साथ ही दे दिया कि आपको समूह में इस चीज को अच्छी तरह पढ़ के बताना है, तो जो अच्छा पढ़ रहा है बालक, उसके साथ जो पास में बैठा है कम अच्छी तरह से पढ़ पा रहा है, तो उसका सुनकर वो अच्छी तरह पढ़ पाएगा, तो उससे भी उसकी स्किल बढ़ सकती है पढ़ने की,
बोलने की, कम्युनिकेशन।
बोलने में भी ऐसे ही हो सकता है। एक दूसरे को देखकर, एक दूसरे को सुनकर किसी चीज को कैसे हम करें, समूह में यदि ये कार्य दिया जाए तो निश्चित तौर पर किसी भी क्षेत्र में हम करें ये प्रभावी हो सकता है।
Well, as per the response of Rajkumari Mishra and Dr. Kamesh Rao, I think there is some variable at your end. Yes. Okay. Now, Dr. Rajkumari Mishra has responded to that query that this participatory approach can be used in the various cells. Various cells means that is 4 into 3, all the 12 cells of a language. LSRW on the column side, and on the row side, the lexicon, the grammar, the phonetics. All the 12 cells, it can be employed. Suppose I am writing a verse. Okay. And when I produce that verse, someone says, no, you change this word. Okay. Yeah, someone says that you change this word. This word which you have used is not that appropriate. You replace this word by this word. Now this is sharing. Say this word is not befitting, the word is more befitting. Okay, here the rhythm and rhyme is missing. Okay, so you have the rhythmic word. The word which you have used is not grammatically fitting herein. So you use this word which has appropriate meaning. So the friends amongst each other, they share with each other and they help each other, and the initial creation by each other is enhanced by the inputs by the other fellows, isn't it, Rajkumari?
Yes, sir.
Dr. Rajkumari Mishra?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now there is another question by from Savroop Kilivati to all the participants. Good afternoon, sir. This is Dr. Swaroop Kumar, Associate Professor in Economics. What is the question, Swaroop? Okay, I think perhaps this question was, there was a question that is it an extension of expository approach? We employ expository approach. Is participatory approach is an extension of expository approach? That is the question on the floor. Sorry.
Free approach. Yes, next step to exploratory approach. Exploratory, EXPO, yes, QO. Yeah, sir, can we consider participatory approach as participatory approach ये exploratory approach तो नहीं हो सकता।
क्या है
EXTO, yes, sir. TO, yes, sir. TOR, right?
Goyal sir, please unmute yourself.
Yes, thank you very much. So,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
thank you very much. I am also a learner of this technology, and you all are helping me. Now, my request to both the source persons is that expository teaching is that teaching which has the target as reception learning. You serve, you prepare payasam, you prepare kheer, and you serve, and the person on the other end just enjoys it, eats it ready made. Okay, that is expository teaching. Now the question on the floor is participatory approach extension of expository teaching learning?
It may be, sir.
Not,
The
not, it,
participatory,
not, yes, yes, Kamesh, yes.
the participatory approach is the next step is exploratory approach, sir. Because of the students can be present their ideas, sir, their facts, their real life facts. So participatory approach is the inviting the students to the share their ideas in the classroom situation. And next step, as well as the Dayanand sir is the asking that exploratory approach is the next step. It is good, yes, sir. Next step is the exploratory approach of the participatory approach
Well,
because of the, yes, sir, because it involves the, sir, presenting clear and the concise information in the purposeful way, sir, in the expository approach. So it may be,
well,
we can say,
Dr. Kamesh and Dr.
yes,
Rajkumari, the fellow colleague who has raised this question, it is a very, very pertinent question. Very, very
yes,
pertinent question.
yes,
The
sir,
flaw with the present system is that we go on lecturing, we go on lecturing, we go on lecturing, and sometimes it is unidirectional. And we
yes,
presume that the learners are receiving everything. And we come prepared with the notes, whether these are our own creations or these are borrowed from somewhere, and we serve it to the entire class. And by the time we serve, the time is over, there is no time left for interaction. Okay, that is expository and reception learning. But every exposure, every expository bit, every expository input raises questions. When expository approach is employed and whatsoever is served in whatsoever has been served to the learners, they have n questions relating to this. And when it is left open for discussion, then there could be really brainstorming in the entire class and sharing in the entire class, and uh, there could be participation like anything, and then the class looks like a class. Otherwise, class is not a class. Class looks like a class when class is a class when there is interrelation and interdependence and interaction. So definitely the participatory approach is extension of expository approach. Yes, any other question?
aquarium method.
देखिए सामने क्वेश्चन होंगे आपके.
Yes, sir.
हाँ.
Meaning of aquarium method in this approach. This is method is different in biology. Good, sir.
Expository.
Not aquarium method.
Aquarium method. Yes, you tell about the aquarium method.
Yes.
Yes. Hmm.
Vinayak sir is asked that the aquarium method is in this approach is the different from the method in the biology. Yes, sir. This is the different meaning in the aquarium method in the biology. But here, when we are using the aquarium method in the one of the part of the
Participatory
approach, then we are using the some facts. Those students are the giving. That is the aquarium.
Okay. I think this question which has been raised takes us to the realm of symbiosis. Symbiosis.
Yes.
When an aquarium has the environ or the medium for immersion,
yes,
and there are various entities, say fish is there, other organisms are there, and there is definite relationship amongst them.
yeah,
And when there is definite relationship amongst them, there is lot of sharing, there is a lot of interaction, there is at times they are prosumers also, producers come consumers also, there are some consumers also. So when we make use of this approach, aquarium approach, it takes us to the realm of symbiotic approach. Symbiotic. uh, it is sometimes we talk of coexistence, and when we talk of whenever any exposure is there in any environment wherein n organisms have immersion, it is but natural there has to be interrelation, interdependence, interaction. So I think yes, the meaning differs, meaning varies. It was a real good question. Expository approach leads to fixing learning things. Expository approach leads to fixing learning things. This observation has been made by Dr. G.P. Nagaraj. You have something to say?
Sir, actually, expertly approach, sir, the structure of an expertly lesson or approach helps the student to stay focused on the topic at hand, sir. Oftentimes, sir, when students are discovering information on their own, they can get uh, dis they're confused by the unnecessary information and have the difficult determine what's important in the exploratory approach. This is the way exploratory instruction is one of the most common instructional strategies that we are the कंफ्यूजन को दूर कर सकते हैं द मोस्ट मोस्टली जो है स्टूडेंट्स क्या सोचते हैं और क्या करते हैं तो इसमें अननेसेसरी थिंग्स आ जाता है तो एक्सपर्टरी अप्रोचेस के माध्यम से हम लोग उसको दूर कर सकते हैं सो ये एक अगर सर कहते हैं कि ये अप्रोच लीड्स टू फिक्सिंग द लर्निंग थिंग्स ठीक है
एक्चुअली ये उनका जो ऑब्जर्वेशन है इट इज अ वेरी वैलिड ऑब्जर्वेशन बट व्हाट आर द implications ऑफ दिस ऑब्जर्वेशन when we say we are serving but we are serving and you relish you eat and relish whatsoever we are serving okay it's a fixing learning things there is no choice there is no choice
yes sir
yes there is no choice and as a learner I like to exercise my choice you are serving me something a fixed stuff why should I go by that it may not interest me okay it may not be interesting for me so how do you take care of the interest of the many varied learners I think there we need to provide the differential inputs, varied inputs, so that the many varied learners, as per their individual differences, they can learn. So that scope is not there in the expository approach unless or until the presenter is such a resource that the presenter provides variety of inputs. Okay, in the same exposure. Okay, and you pick and choose whatsoever you like to pick and choose. Then the learning things are not fixed. Then they can exercise their own choice. Suppose there is some function and some dishes are served, variety of those, hundreds of those, and you go there and then you have to exercise your choice and you now take a round and then you have to decide which one I would like to have. Sometimes your round, by the time your round is over, the time is over. Huh?
Yes.
So there, the choicelessness is the best choice. You pick and choose and eat whatsoever is in front of you, provided it is as per your taste. Yes. Any other query?
No, sir.
देखिए आप होगी के सामने मेरे को तो कुछ दिख नहीं रहा है यहाँ से आपके सामने हो सकती है
नहीं बस ये लास्ट था
well it has been there are many varied questions but still Dr. Kamesh Rao and Dr. Rajkumar ये तो आपका ही नाम है यहाँ पर now I have some queries for you.
Yes sir.
Why have you taken us into this realm of this participatory approach?
Sorry sir.
Why participatory approach?
Because of the enhance of the communication skills among the students.
Okay, one is communication skill, development of the communication skill. Then what else?
Then sharing of knowledge.
Sharing of knowledge, very good. 2, 3.
And motivation.
Motivation, fine.
Because some of the students are the not sharing their ideas. They are the
They
shy
open
nature.
up, they open up, they open up.
They open up.
Yes, very good. They open up through the participatory approach.
Yes.
Yeah, they get the chance to participate. Yes. What else, Rajkumari? Now I am looking at you. Your face is not seen. You be towards the side so that all of us are in a position to see your face. Yes. What are the other attributes of participatory approach? जो सहभागी उपागम है उसके और कौन से गुण हैं उसमें? Which are the other attributes? सहभागिता से किन किन गुणों का विकास होता है?
सर उसमें सामाजिकता का विकास होता है।
Okay, okay, धीरे धीरे development of, I have to talk in English also because all are not in a position to get in Hindi. Okay, development of social attributes. Okay, 1, 2.
भावात्मक एकता बढ़ती है सर।
Okay, then unity. When we go into the realm of feeling faculty, how we have how we unite with each other and flowing, we flow in the Ganges of that feeling. Okay, very good. What else? Dr. Nagaraja GP.
It is expository is an approach which provides a platform to the students to participate, and no one is master, and everyone possesses his own ideas. There is a platform to provide, exchange their ideas, which leads to interactions, and their instincts will be satisfied to exchange their ideas. And then the later part of the expository, participatory is expository, which leads to expose the individuals to the different context by keeping a single concept, exposing to the different contexts through which he can apply the a particular concept, which remains for a long time. It goes to the long-term memory in the individual.
Very well said. That here, whenever any exposure is there, any stimulus is there, there is reactions and there are reflections from others, which are
every
internalized,
which has an instinct to expose themselves.
Yeah. Very well said. Very well said. Once some exposure is there, there may not be a kernel of congruence always. Okay.
Yes, it leads to authentic learning and meaningful learning, sir.
It leads to effective learning. It leads to meaningful learning. Even exposure.
Authentic learning.
Authentic learning. Okay, authentic learning. Whatsoever is the learning.
I posted these points also.
Yes, authentic learning, meaningful learning, and
effective learning.
But did you say just now?
It leads to leadership qualities, sir.
Leadership qualities also. Authentic learning also. Very good. Very good.
Yes.
Very good. Yes. And at the same time, one unique feature of participatory approach is, I like to give you an example.
Yes, please, sir.
Suppose we have in every child there is a creator. There is a creator.
Yes, sir.
In every child there is a poet. In every child there is a farmer. In every child there is I don't know English. Every child there is a person who is expert in horticulture. Okay, in agriculture, in dieselculture, in sericulture. Okay, and once that is exposed, all are benefited. All are benefited.
Yes, that is a heterogeneous group. Due to the heterogeneous group, it is better to use participatory and expository.
But these approaches do help us in realization of multidisciplinary approach, interdisciplinary approach, cross-disciplinary approach, and all of us are benefited.
Every child transfer the concept into his own field of experiences, sir. That is more meaningful to learn.
Yes, yes, of course, of course. Very well said. Very well said. Very well said.
Thank you, sir.
Who is in front of me? Dr. Nagaraja. Dr. Nagaraja.
Sir, please, sir.
Dr. Nagaraja, where from you are?
From Bangalore, sir, Bangalore.
Okay, nice to listen to your reflections. Very meaningful. Very really meaningful.
Thank you, sir.
All the reflections by you, all the inputs by you are highly meaningful and highly related. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Indubala ma'am, I have unmuted you. Indubala ma'am, you can unmute yourself. Indubala ma'am.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Indubala is anyone else who likes to say Indubala is not coming in.
Okay. Dr. Sandeep Patil,
Yes, Dr. Patil.
Manas Thakur ji, Mr. Manas Thakur ji.
Yes, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, we are listening.
Yes. We can
Please.
see you also. We can see your face also. Let the video be also be on.
Yes, sir, sure.
Yes.
But I don't get the option of.
Please, Dr. Manas Thakur sir, please introduce yourself. Where from you are?
Yes, sir. I actually I have been your student, sir, in case 20 years back, more than 20 years back.
Oh,
I'm
welcome. Sorry, I could not recognize you. Manas
Thank
Thakur.
you, sir.
Yeah.
Right now, I am lecturer. I am assistant professor in HM Patel Institute of English Training and Research, Vallabh Vidyanagar, Gujarat.
Oh, great. Oh, Jadeja Sahab's Institute.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
HM Patel Institute. Yes.
Yes, sir. I just wanted to reflect on the question that you asked, that after the participatory approach, how does it contribute? So I think that it develops confidence among the students. It
Yes.
also develops observation skills,
Yes.
leadership qualities,
Yes.
then research approach.
Yes.
He gets a problem solving practice.
Yes.
He also learns interdependence.
Yes.
He remembers things because there is no need to remember.
Yes.
Due to the experience, it is remembered automatically.
Yes.
And overall personality development, or we can say multidimensional personality development, is possible.
Multi-dimensional development. Okay.
Yes. I think that these are some of the very important gains.
Here I like to share with you one of my experiences.
Yes, sir.
At case only, I used to have MCED, Master of Computers in Education class in the evenings. And we were learning programming in C++ language, okay? Master of Computers in Education group. Yes. And I was also one of the learners amongst those 30. We were a class of 31, no teacher, all learners, all the 31 learners. Even though I was designated as a teacher, but I was a beginner learner, okay? Yes, then initially what we would do is say, one day I recall we have had a program for computing the coefficient of concordance. Coefficient of concordance using C++. Concordance means how much is the views of the people are common. Okay, yes. Concordance. उसमें तालमेल कितना है आपस में? Concordance. Okay. Then the statements, the commands, the procedures, the functions were shared with the class, that these could be. And from the entire class, say, and different solutions emerged and different programs. Okay. Right, programming was done by these 30 students, and 30 students developed their programs as per their algorithms. And when they developed these programs, these could be categorized into n categories, say 5 categories. From each category, one person was invited to make the presentation of the program written by that group of 5 or n. Okay. And the rest of the class was asked to analyze it in terms of fetch and execute cycle, in terms of the instructions, in terms of the memory required, in terms of the output. Okay, there was some such criteria on the basis of which they were to rate it. Okay, rating was done. Then then a person from the other group was called similar exercise, and n minus 1th group was called similar exercise, nth group was called similar exercise. And at the end we found that there was a lot of learning from the experiences of each group.
Yes,
I recall one of my students, Pramod Thevarkar, he is a domain leader in technology in US now. He completed DMCAT from DAVV Indore. I was a teacher there then. Okay, his program and the program of his group was found to be very quality program, very condensed program, and the instructions were very economic. The output was very well placed, and in with respect to all the features of programming, the program of that group was found to be best. Now what happened? The entire class learned that's yes, this is how we could have done, this is how it was done. So we shared the experiences from each other. Okay. And
Yes, sir.
the entire program of learning through C++ was done through this participatory approach, the entire session.
Oh,
And I'm saying the entire session. I was a beginner learner, and I learned along with my learners through participatory approach. I was not let me admit in front of
yes.
the entire all the participants on this web internet,
sir.
that I was one of the students, and this is how I learned.
Oh,
Okay, this is just an example, Manas Bhai Thakur.
yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
And another is
Hello.
yes, yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Shall
Dr.
I?
Nagaraja, yeah.
Shall I, please? Sir, that is inputs from different backgrounds,
Yes.
from different contexts,
Yes.
from heterogeneous group is pooled to
Yeah.
together, and it will be a globe of the obtained. That is meaningful, sir.
Actually,
is,
what happens is here, because if it is it becomes multi-contextual.
Sir.
Then at times the participation is lost. So
yes.
we have to converge on a context. We have to converge on a context, and
yes,
then seek the participation. Okay. So
yes, sir.
So sometimes we need to exercise those controls that our participation is in a particular context. Rest is fine. Rest is fine. Whatsoever you said is fine. Because if it is left to the if it is left to the multi context, and if you are trying to build up the reality, okay, that could also be one of the situations. But when we go to this multi-contextual participatory approach, for that we need to have the clientele of that level to cognize all the contexts, reflect on all the contexts, share their status on all the contexts, and participate mindfully and participate fully. Yes, welcome. That is welcome. And let me share with you that my classes have been that challenging, and each one of them is a domain leader, not only in India, globe over.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes. Now there's a question from Manas Bhai Thakur. Yes.
Sir, if we look back to Indian traditions,
yes,
I think it is very difficult to find the examples of participatory approach, because when we talk about Indian traditions, we talk about
yes. No. Oh. No, आपने तो मैं बेसिकली हरियाणा से हूँ, आपने मेरी दुखती हुई रग के ऊपर हाथ लगा दिया.
जी
हाँ,
सर।
आपने मेरी दुखती हुई रग के ऊपर हाथ लगा दिया। जितना पार्टिसिपेशन इंडिया में है उतना कहीं पर भी नहीं है।
That's what I just wanted to know, because whenever
yeah, let me share with you any issue,
yes,
any problem, whether it is COVID. Now you see this COVID-19, this Mahamari. Are not all of us together? This very program which we are conducting, whatsoever fees we will be gathering, say this 300 rupees per participant, this will be utilized for the cause of these COVID patients. Are not all of us uniting?
yes,
Is not it participatory approach? This is just an immediate example.
Yes.
absolutely.
And
Yes,
let me share with you, friend, that any problem of anyone, we empathize. The truthfulness, the compassion, the forbearance, the unity, the participation, which is available in India, I don't find elsewhere. And I feel proud that I am an Indian. I am born Indian. And my mother India, Aryavart, is my mother. And our mother, all of us are the sons and daughters of Mother India. And when we are the sons and daughters of Mother India, we share the state of each other, whosoever we are, and we do it, and we do it, and we do it.
Yes,
Unless providing the platform, participation will not take place, sir. That is this program is itself is the participatory program. And all individuals are participating.
My respected brother, I think I am conversing with Dr. Nagaraja. Am I conversing with Dr. Nagaraja? Yes.
Sir.
Participatory. Let me complete now. I listen to you very carefully. Let me speak now.
Yes.
Dr. Nagaraja, for participation, no formal stimulus needs to be provided. In life-like situations, whenever we find a problem, all of us identify that problem. All of us formulate that problem in our own ways. All of us address that problem, and at times not one, many solutions emerge, and then we employ the best possible solution. Okay, those solutions may be employed contextually. So, participatory approach is not bound by the classroom. Okay, the classroom, it has no boundaries, my dear, my respected brother. It doesn't have boundaries. It is open. And even if boundaries are there, it will break those boundaries. Nobody can employ any theory of oppression. We don't go by the theory of oppression. And these Mughals and these British, these Portuguese, they could establish their colonies. Why? Because we were innocent people. And they took advantages of our innocence. And if we could realize our inner strength, I think we could have all participated, and nobody could have ever enslaved us. Sorry, man, I am speaking from the core of I cannot control, but I think participation does not require any formal call. Participation is natural, and participation is natural. Any problem, look into India. Here the ideas spring, the feelings flow, the soul reigns, the motor muscles create, and we act in the full form, and we resonate with the entire universe with full resonance in full swing. That is the level of participation of we Indians. But your question is very good. I really value your question. So, participatory approach is more of a natural phenomenon rather than a formal phenomenon. Any other reflection, please? These are very lovely reflections. Please, we can have 2-3 more minutes. Pramod, are you
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No problem, sir. We have.
We can have
We
4-5 more minutes so as
Yes,
to place,
yes.
so as to locate this session properly.
Yes, we have. No any problem.
Yes. Yes, anyone else who likes to share?
Their ideas and
Yes, your observations, your questions, your comments, your reflections in any form. In any form.
Sir, in
Yeah.
my opinion, we should conclude.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me say a few sentences. The presentations by both the colleagues, Dr. Kamesh Rao and Dr. Rajkumari Mishra, were very much in tune. Today, Dr. Kamesh took us more in the realm of economics, his specialization. He was talking of all those terms like inflation and demand and supply equations and all that. I was really flowing with him. And Dr. Rajkumari Mishra took us those muhavre. I asked her that how muhavra is called muhavra. She has not yet told me. मुंह में इसका संधिवेद छेद भी मेरे को नहीं मिला है कि मुंह प्लस आवरा। नाच न जाने आंगन टेढ़ा, नाच न जाने आंगन टेढ़ा। अपने को तो नाचना तो आता नहीं, आंगन को टेढ़ा बता रहे हो। अगर इसको दूसरे शब्दों में कहें ना तो लोग हमारे से नाराज हो जाते हैं, परंतु इस लहरिये में कहें ना, मुहावरे में कहें तो नाराज नहीं हो जाते और उनके पास अर्थ पहुंच जाता है। मुहावरा वो है जो उसका शाब्दिक अर्थ नहीं लिया जाता, उसका जो गूढ़ अर्थ है, जो उसका आंतरिक अर्थ है, वो लिया जाता है। तो मुंह आवरा वो मुंह में आता है और उसकी अभिव्यक्ति होती है।
सर, मैं आपको यहाँ टोकना चाहूंगा।
हाँ,
मैं भी हिंदी से बिलोंग करता हूँ।
हाँ, बोलिए, मैं तो कभी से आपकी राह देख रहा हूँ।
मुहावरा शब्द की जो उत्पत्ति है, ये एक्चुअली अरबी के मुहावर से बना है।
बताइए।
ये अरबी शब्द के मुहावर से बना है, मुहावर। और उर्दू में मुहाविरा कहते हैं और हिंदी में मुहावरा कहलाता था ये। और मुहावरा मीन्स जो रोजमर्रा में प्रचलित हो। मुहावरा मीन्स जो रोजमर्रा में प्रचलित होता है। तो हमारे पास यहाँ 3 शब्द हैं। अरबी का मुहावर, उर्दू में मुहाविरा और हिंदी में मुहावरा। मुहावरा मीन्स जो बोलचाल में रोजमर्रा में जो लाया जाता हो, तो वो बेसिकली हिंदी तो हमारी ऐसी भाषा रही है कि जिसने अन्य भाषाओं के शब्दों को समाहित कर लिया है।
अभी आज आपने जो अभी बात कही, ये तीनों भाषाओं के साथ में अपनी सीडी लगाकर, तो आज मेरे को प्रमोद से एक सवाल पूछना ही है
जी।
सवाल ये पूछना है कि आज सुबह से जब उठे हो और अब इस पल तक आपने कौन कौन से मुहावरे इस्तेमाल किए हैं? आपने रोजमर्रा की बात करी ना
जी,
तो आज बताओ कौन कौन से मुहावरे इस्तेमाल किए सुबह से शाम तक। तो फिर मैं मान लूंगा कि जो आपकी अरबी और उर्दू और जो हिंदी है और जो ये आपने इसकी मुहावरे का जो आपका एक्सप्लेनेशन दिया है वो सार्थक है, अदरवाइज मैं नहीं मानूंगा उसको।
सर मैं क्षमा चाहूंगा। एक्चुअली मुहावरा हम तब यूज करेंगे जब मैं किसी से मिलूंगा। तो सुबह से लेकर मैं अभी तक किसी से मिला ही नहीं हूँ, और जिन लोगों से मुखातिब हुआ हूँ वो लोग ऑनलाइन ही मुखातिब हुआ हूँ। 4 क्लास लिए हैं, तो वहाँ मेरे पास सिर्फ डायरेक्ट एक सिलेबस था, एक कंटेंट था, मुझे उसी को सर्व करना था। मतलब वहाँ मुझे बिल्कुल भी छूट नहीं थी कि मैं वहाँ रोजमर्रा की बात कर पाऊँ। और चूंकि मुहावरे का तो यहाँ की जब उस अभिव्यक्ति को जहाँ हम प्रत्यक्ष से अलग रूढ़ ढंग से लक्ष्य करेंगे, मतलब मुहावरे कहीं ना कहीं जब हम थोड़ा सा इजी गोइंग सिचुएशन में हो तभी हम उनकी बात करेंगे। और सुबह से सर मैं अभी तक इजी गोइंग हुआ ही नहीं हूँ।
हाँ,
दोपहर
तो
दोपहर
मैं
तक।
तो मैं
जी
आपको एक बात बताऊं
जी सर।
कि मैं आज सुबह सुबह जब उठा तो मैंने अपना व्हाट्सएप देखा। मेरे एक साथी हैं एनसीईआरटी में, उन्होंने मेरे को व्हाट्सएप किया। वो 2 बार हाथ जोड़े हुए थे उसमें, और उसमें साथ में लिखा था, सर आप बहुत याद आते हैं, आप बहुत याद आते हैं। तो मैंने इसके ऊपर सोचना शुरू किया कि उन्होंने ऐसा कैसे लिखा कि मैं उनको बहुत याद करता हूँ, मेरे में ऐसी क्या बात है मेरे को याद करता हूँ, हैं। मैं तो अपना सिर झुकाए बैठा था। फिर मैंने अपने से सवाल किया, क्यों क्यों सिर झुका के बैठा है, हैं? ये मुहावरा है ना, तो क्यों सिर झुका के बैठा है यार, क्यों मुस्कुरा क्यों नहीं रहा है, हाँ? तो ये उसको जो मुहावर और जो मुहावरा और जो ये लहरिया आपने प्रस्तुत किया है, इसके लिए कोई सामने व्यक्ति नहीं चाहिए। ये अपने आपे के साथ भी संवाद कर सकते हैं आप। यू कैन डायलॉग विद योर ओन सेल्फ। Dialogue means you can have a flow of essence and interaction and reflection in your own self. तो उससे क्या निकल कर आया, मैं आपको 2-3 लाइनें सुना दूं ताकि फिर इसको आपको कंक्लूड करने में इजी पड़ेगा। बहुत याद आते हैं आप, तो उससे क्या निकल कर आया बताऊं आपके परमिशन से, प्रमोद?
बिल्कुल सर, बिल्कुल सर, स्वागत है।
हाँ, नी सवर है वीणा, कहाँ चले गए वीरपाल, मुकेश बंदिता सिराज, बहुत याद आते हैं आप। ईश्वर भी अदृश्य है, सूर्य भी अस्त है, कहाँ है प्रभात, बहुत याद आते हैं आप। छाया घोर निबिड़, कहाँ ओझल हो गया, कहाँ ओझल हो गया प्रकाश। व्यथित धरा चकित आकाश, व्यथित धरा चकित आकाश, बहुत याद आते हैं आप। कहाँ है आचार्य राजकमल, व्यथित ब्रह्म सरोवर मान सरोवर, पक्षी बैठे हैं गुमसुम चुपचाप, बहुत याद आते हैं आप। क्यों कैसे फैली यह महामारी, चले गए मोती चले गए सॉरी क्यों कैसे फैली यह महामारी, चले गए मौली गंभीर तिवारी। झरता निर्झर झरझर दिन रात, झरता निर्झर झरझर दिन रात, बहुत याद आते हैं आप। बिखर गए माला मोती, कैसे करूं तेरी भक्ति, कहां से करूं शुरुआत, बहुत याद आते हैं आप। ना कोई तेरा ना कोई मेरा, दुनिया बस एक रैन बसेरा, मुसाफिर चले गए चुपचाप, बहुत याद आते हैं आप। व्यथित हिंदी के समस्त छंद, दुखी कुरान की हर आयत, व्यथा व्यथित सम्मेलन, बहुत याद आते हैं आप। कीर्त करनी नाम जपना वंड छकना, करते अरदास रब्बा मेहर कर दे माफ, बहुत याद आते हैं आप। बुद्धम शरणम गच्छामि, बुद्धम धम्मम गच्छामि, बुद्धम संघम गच्छामि, बहुत याद आते हैं आप। अनेक अंतवाद शायदवाद, खुद जियो सबको जीने दो, अहिंसा सर्वोदय मत, अहिंसा सर्वोदय मत करो पाप, बहुत याद आते हैं आप। बस पूरा, अब एक दो स्टंजा और है। भीतर बंद नहीं जाते बाहर, नुसरत कुदरत व्याकुल परेशान, हर बैठ निश्चल बाल विवल, बहुत याद आते हैं आप। जीव और अनुपम रूप का क्या व्याकरण है हे भगवान। अभी जरा आपका सबका ध्यान चाहूंगा इस पर, जो ये मुहावरे से निकल कर आया है, ये असली पंक्तियां राजकुमारी अभी आई है, आप इधर देखो मेरी तरफ। जीव और अनुपम रूप का क्या व्याकरण है हे भगवान, जीव और अनुपम रूप का क्या व्याकरण है हे भगवान। सर्जन जीवन विसर्जन फिर संताप, बहुत याद आते हैं आप। जैसा अन्न वैसा मन, बंद करो मांसाहारी वेट मार्केट, कहाँ गए विशुद्ध सात्विक माँ बाप, बहुत याद आते हैं आप। त्याग दो तामसिक आहार, अपने पर रहम करो मान्यवर, नहीं तो मरोगे अविरल दिन रात, बहुत याद आते हैं आप। लास्ट स्टैंजा। मन अन्न में, प्राण पय में, शरीर चालक पेशियां अरुण में, कितनी अद्भुत नैसर्गिक सौगात, बहुत याद आते हैं आप। अब जो मैंने ये
बहुत
कविता
बढ़िया।
पढ़ी, आप कहेंगे, आप सबका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, आप सबने सुना। और ये पढ़ी कहाँ से, ये आई कहाँ से? ये आई उस एक पंक्ति से, एक लाइन से आई, सर बहुत याद आते हैं आप। और जो उनका दर्द है, और जो उनकी संवेदना है, और जो उसकी परस्पर अनुभूति है, ये कविता उसकी अभिव्यक्ति है। तो प्रमोद जी, मुहावरा करने के लिए कोई सामने और नहीं चाहिए। मुहावरे में आप स्वयं से ही संवाद कर सकते हैं। यहाँ ठीक है, वो किसी ने एक लाइन भेजी थी, कई बार ये खुद से ही अंदर से भी निकलती है आवाज कि इतने साथी चले गए, कहाँ चले गए, कैसे चले गए, क्यों चले गए, क्या लॉन्जिविटी पहले से निश्चित है, और it depends upon the interaction amongst the causes and the conditions. There are many questions which come up through this participatory approach, which is employed by the self itself. Well, thank you very much. Pramod, may I invite you now to please propose a vote of thanks?
Yes, sir. My dear friends, really we have so much benefited by Dr. Komes Rao sir and Dr. Rajkumari Misra ma'am, and many thanks to Dr. D.R. Goyal sir, and many thanks to Dr. Komes Rao and Dr. Rajkumari Misra ma'am, and many thanks to all participants. We will meet again tomorrow at the same time.
And the two colleagues who have really raised very wonderful questions, not two colleagues and colleagues, regarding one from H.M. Patel Institute and the other one from
Dr. Manas and Dr. Nagarajan.
Yeah, they really reflected on the participatory approach, and another was on expository approach and extension through participatory approach, and many more. We are grateful to all the colleagues, and it has been promoted really a participatory approach. It has really been a participatory approach all over all the participants. Yeah. Great, salute all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
So may we beg leave and meet tomorrow.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Namaste, Harmeet Ben. Namaste, namaste.
Namaste, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Really, we enjoyed your presentation, sir. And big thanks to Dr. Goel. He is backbone of our webinar. And thanks for Mod, sir, for providing us such a diversified platform. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Harmeet ma'am. Thank you very much.
Many thanks to Dr. Harmeet Kaur ma'am. And really, we are grateful to you. You have given the opportunity to collaboration with us. So many thanks to you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, participants. Thank you, participants. We will catch you tomorrow. Okay, sir.